Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's the podcast that's less controversial than a Cracker Barrel rebrand. It's Guys of a Certain Age. Robbie Coblentz in studio alongside Jay Reed. Jay, what'd you think about Cracker Barrel and their unforced blunder?
I'm still waiting to see how it plays out. I've seen just a few pictures. Actually, I've seen probably the same picture over and over about the remodeling, the walls. And it doesn't look terrible to me.
No.
I don't understand the whole, logo rebrand. I don't know that really does anything much, but I don't go to Cracker Barrel a lot anyway. Used to go a lot more. Used to really like, especially breakfast.
Yeah.
But
so what changed?
What changed with me?
Yeah, in Cracker Barrel.
I still enjoy going when it's opportune. But here's the thing: if I'm traveling,
yeah,
and I'm either traveling to, make opportunities for eating. I mean, that's kind of my thing. I'm an opportunity eater.
You're an opportunist, period.
So I'm trying to eat different places. I don't like to go to the same place over and over again.
Yeah.
And especially chains. But I'm not anti-chain, but if I can find a good local place that has a story or something, I'm probably going to choose that over a Cracker Barrel if I'm going to take the time to stop. And that's the thing, is a lot of times we're either ready to get somewhere or we're ready to get home. And if we're going to do something like that, we're going to do drive through or stop something real quick, not a sit down. And I'll tell you what, this too, Cracker Barrel breaks me financially a lot of times, not because of the food,
because of the labyrinth you walk through,
because we end up Christmas shopping there and all kinds of stuff. And we end up, I actually got a rewards card the last time I went because I just bought all this junk. I need to get something for it.
So Cracker Barrel was Buc-ee's before Buc-ee's.
That's one. Yeah. Tiny Buc-ee's. Yep.
Yeah. It's a Buc-ee's without petro.
Yeah.
Gasoline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. It definitely had a lot of that same vibe.
Yeah. Which they're all the spiritual stepchildren of Stuckey's.
That's true. That's true.
Think about it.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, if
I miss Stuckey's.
I miss Stuckey's too. I remember I got some, it was, this is 45 years ago. I got some, it was reprints of Confederacy dollar bills,
Oh, yeah.
And there were two sets because I think all the states had their own. I think all states had their own tender at that time, and I bought two of the same set. And this was, I guess, my inner J coming out. I always looked for the first set because I'd bought two of the second set or something like that. I don't even know where those things are, but that was, back in those days, Stuckey's was the place you stopped coast to coast to get kitschy things that you now find in Buc-ee's and Cracker Barrel.
Right. I remember there being, the one we stopped at, there was some kind of little machine that was almost like, in my mind, it looks like an old cigarette machine with the knobs, but it had little toys in it or something like that.
Where at? At a Stuckey's or a Cracker Barrel?
It's Stuckey's.
Yeah.
Stuckey's, yeah.
Yeah. Well, road trip nostalgia. So my dad likes Cracker Barrel. Of course, my folks are from Meridian, and we got a Cracker Barrel there, 35, 40 years ago because it's a nexus of I-20, I-59 coming through, and they loved their breakfast. I mean, Uncle Herschel's breakfast, I like their French toast quite a bit. And to me, what I would get for lunch was their grilled chicken tenders on toasted sourdough with a side baked potato. It's a great lunch.
I'm going to get a veggie plate. I'm getting the beans and the greens or something like that. I might get a meat, but I'm more focused on the veggies.
You're getting a constructed smoothie as opposed to a deconstructed smoothie.
I suppose.
Yeah. And see, I'm just not a veggie guy. Yeah. I don't like Southern veg. I don't like stuff that's boiled in grease until it almost discombobulates. So.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't hate the food. I like the food. It's fine. It's just if I'm going to stop and spend that much time in a place, I'd rather go somewhere that I hadn't been before.
And where you don't have a rewards card.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it is convenient, and sometimes that's what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
And, I'm not going to argue against that if it's convenient. It's funny thing though about the gift shop, they really have some cool stuff. We have gotten some great like stocking stuffers and stuff there. And I don't know if I've worn it up here. It seemed like I did, but last Halloween in their little clearance section, or right after that, I got must have been before, because I wore it at Halloween, my Scooby-Doo shirt. So, I mean, I got something kind of cool there.
Yeah.
So I don't, again, no, I'm not a hater. I just kind of want to see how this plays out. Like I said, I don't dislike the pictures that I've seen of the rebrand.
Yeah.
As far as the decor, it's kind of clean lines, but still, I don't know. It's kind of a mix.
So I just came up with another analogy. Cracker Barrel's like a more wholesome Spencer's Gifts.
Okay.
Right?
There's some layer. Yeah.
I'd love to see the Venn diagram between Bucky's, Cracker Barrel, and Spencer's.
I'm sure it's a gift of some sort.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's
it's a product. Yep.
There's a product there that's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is funny for a Friday morning. So, well, I don't know what all the hate for the rebrand is. I think the logo's cleaner. It looks like the inside is cleaner. The question is the menu changing? If the menu's not changing, then just yeah. Who griped when we lost the Colonel and the KFC masthead? I mean, come on. You've got to modernize. That logo was so. I understand it is comforting in a world of change, but that logo was so 1970s.
Yeah,
like,
and I mean, I read a little bit about it just a while ago, and I think people are just they're just crying woke or unwoke or whatever, and I don't want to get all into that, but I didn't realize that was part of it, and apparently that's being thrown around.
Yeah,
so we'll see how much that comes to be. But
to me, the biggest outcry would have been a year and a half, 2 years ago when they started serving beer and light wine.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They had cocktails even to a degree, mimosas and that kind of stuff. So they were already in a process of sort of testing out some pretty big changes, and I don't know how that played out or not.
They realized their core constituency was aging.
Yeah.
And they were trying to attract younger shoppers. I just don't know that you're going to do that, and that's the thing.
It's so ingrained.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing that we sometimes forget is sometimes businesses have a finite life, no matter what you do. And sometimes you've got to figure out what's your end game. And I'm not saying this is the death knell for Cracker Barrel and Uncle Herschel, and well, maybe it's the death knell for Uncle Herschel, because I guess that was Uncle Herschel on the barrel, But I'm just saying, change is inevitable, and it is what it is. Yeah. I mean, anyway, who would have thought Microsoft would go the way it has, been supplanted by Apple and Google, and Intel's hanging on by a thread. I mean, those were the dominant players in that space forever, and now they're not. So it's going to be interesting to see. I haven't been in a Cracker Barrel in probably a year at this point.
It's probably been about a year, but I mean, it's kind of the situation like if it does have an end time to it, I would miss it being there, but I don't know how much it would actually change my behavior.
I would probably regard it like I regard Shoney's. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of things that I miss from Shoney's, namely the strawberry pie, right, which was great. The breakfast bar at Shoney's was phenomenal, but and there are some parallels between Shoney's and Cracker Barrel, because Cracker Barrel became basically the breakfast replacement for Shoney's, if you think about it.
I guess so.
It's
just prolific now. I mean, there's even one in Columbus, which I thought when it was built that I'd just be zipping over to Columbus on a more regular basis.
You know what the irony is Cracker Barrel looked at the building we are sitting in as a location.
Really?
But it took forever for the 82 bypass to get through, and so they elected to build in Columbus.
Wow.
So we could have
I've heard different stories about why it didn't build here, but that's probably the more likely one.
I was told they actually looked at this site and they looked at this building because it would have converted out perfectly to a Cracker Barrel. And, but it just took forever for the 82 bypass to make it through. So, and that was told to me by the realtor I bought the building from who had shown it to Cracker Barrel representative. Okay. So it's like secondhand. So, yeah. Anyway, all right, let's talk a little geeks of the week. Did you find you anything?
I found something minor. Yeah, well, it'll qualify.
Go ahead, and then I've got some Doctor Who-ish things.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this show. Did you watch The Peacemaker?
No, I haven't.
Any of it at all?
Nah.
I watched a couple of episodes in preparation for something else one time. I never have been a big. It's something. If I didn't have anything else to watch, I might finish it out, but it didn't interest me enough to finish it. But apparently there's some scene in season 1 where he's carrying this body or carrying this person, and in the distance you see in silhouette Superman and I think Flash and Aquaman
and Batman.
So in this season they repeat that somehow. I don't know if it's the opening credit or what it is, but now it's the Justice Gang.
Yeah.
From Superman, the movie, the most recent movie. So you still got Superman, but you've got Hawk Girl and you've got
Green Lantern,
Mr. Magnificent and Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Instead, and they're making comments, at least in the little clip that I watched. So I just thought that was a kind of funny.
Yeah.
I don't care about it really because I don't watch Peacemaker. But
the ultimate retcon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking a scene that was already established and putting new people in it.
Yeah, I probably want to watch it for that, but I'm just not that interested in Peacemaker. I mean,
it was a little bit too much over the top.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, not unlike James Gunn's Suicide Squad, which not the Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad.
I can't keep up with all that.
Which is it's where John.
Is that the one that he was in?
Yeah.
And I watched that, and that was okay, but
yeah.
It's okay as far as Suicide Squad movies go.
As far as Suicide Squad movies go. Yeah, there's only 2 of them. So, that's interesting. I want to go back and look at that. So, my geek, I've got actually 2 that are kind of adjacent. Karen Gillian, who was a longtime companion of Matt Smith's on Doctor Who, is joining the new Highlander movie. So, I think we've talked about Highlander. Henry Cavill, whoever, is going to be the Highlander, the role that who starred in the first one? Just lost my. I cannot remember who played Connor McLeod.
Not Dolph Lundgren.
No. Come on, I can find this here.
I can picture him, but the
Highlander
original Highlander movie.
Yeah, the original Highlander movie. But who played? All right, this is awkward. Anyway, yeah, you can find it.
Dave Bautista's going to be in it too.
Yeah, but who played Connor McLeod? French dude. Oh,
French dude. That doesn't. All right, so Christopher
Lambert. Yeah. So he was the original Highlander. Henry Cavill is going to be reprising his role.
Cavill, right?
Cavill, Henry, whatever his name is. And then you've got Russell Crowe playing Sean Connery's part from the original movie. Dave Bautista is going to play the Kurgan, which was Clancy Brown's wonderful, amazing bad guy. And did you ever watch The Highlander?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's so good.
I feel like I should have, but I can't. Yeah, well, if it had Sean Connery in it, I'm sure I watched it, but I don't remember much about it.
There could be only one. So the whole premise of the Highlander is you have this race of immortals, pseudo-immortals, who inhabit the earth. And basically they seek out each other and engage in a sword fight. The only way you can kill them is by cutting off their head.
Okay.
And so it ends up where the Highlander, Christopher Lambert's title character, and the Kurgan end in a battle, and Lambert wins, and he becomes the last immortal.
Okay.
And Sean Connery was discovers him like in the 12th century in the Highlands in Scotland, and kind of mentors him. And so this is their kind of their lives through 7 centuries. Karen Gillan's going to play the Highlander's first wife, which is kind of instrumental in the whole launch of. So, but
that sounds more familiar now. I'm sure I've seen that.
And then they did Highlander 2, The Quickening, which the Highlander was kind of set up to be a standalone movie. And they brought back Sean Connery, who had died in the first one. And it was really kind of stupid. Then Highlander 3 retconned it all. They're like aliens from the Highlander was great, and it was a great standalone. So, but the opening act, the first half of the movie, should take place in Scotland. And Karen Gillan, her reaction on Twitter when it was announced that she was joining was that the dialect coach can sit this one out. So she's not going to have her Avengers Nebula voice. She's going to have her actual
voice.
Yeah,
that's
cool. Which is great. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, finally, the silence has been broken about the fate of Doctor Who. So if you recall, Ncuti Gatwa kind of quit there at the end and said, I want to go to Hollywood, and, kind of shortened his tenure, which made them reshoot the end of the last episode. Disney and BBC it was only a 2-year co-production deal with Doctor Who. Apparently Disney was very concerned about viewership. And so there's question whether Disney's going to renew that partnership. Well, the director of creative content the chief content officer for the BBC, Kate Phillips, has reassured fans that, Doctor Who is a huge part of the BBC, regardless of Disney's involvement. We're going to have Doctor Who. So, but Russell T Davies, who was the showrunner for the last 2.5 seasons, says he doesn't know what's going on. So there's the speculation. There are some speculations that Davies' contract ended with the Disney Plus deal, and they may bring in another showrunner. I've seen that as a rumor. Who knows?
So that with the Disney thing wasn't like Disney buying it outright. They were just doing it temporarily.
I think Disney did an investment and had worldwide rights to Doctor Who for the 2 years.
Okay.
And with the idea that maybe a backdoor partnership that Disney Plus would be the worldwide distribution hub for Doctor Who, as opposed to, BBC America, Sci-Fi, whoever had it. So I don't know, because if you go to HBO Max, they have the previous seasons of new Doctor Who locked up, and then the only way you can get classic Doctor Who is BritBox.
Okay.
Is find it on BritBox, which Plex has got a Doctor Who classic TV channel, which is actually I think they're pulling that from Pluto TV, which has got some cooperation with BritBox. So
okay.
Anyway,
so it's not like you can't watch Doctor Who if Disney decides to shut down the new one, not shutting down everything.
It's difficult to get there's different licensing deals here, there, and yonder, and it's difficult to find one place to get Doctor Who content. So, but anyway, supposedly Doctor Who will be back on the BBC. Who knows when? I think they need to let it rest for a little while, maybe do one-off specials for a bit.
Yeah. Now, you talked about the Ncuti Gatwa thing and him wanting to move on. Is this kind of almost like a Kevin Costner Yellowstone situation where he didn't finish what he started, or because you said they had to do a reshoot? Was that because they were looking toward a new season him?
I think they were looking towards a new season, and they set some things up, and then there were some threads that never were pulled together at the end of his tenure. So it seems narratively that there were some massive changes made very late, and so. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. So I wish him the best in Hollywood. I think he's a great actor. I just didn't care for him a whole lot as Doctor Who. I prefer an older, I've said this before, just kind of, an aloof, older alien, is kind of what I would like in my doctors. So, but anyway. there you have it.
Okay.
So, all right, we're going to take a break and come back. Oh, by the way, Art's not here if you hadn't figured that one out. We don't even know where Art is these days. So he was hovering over pickleball courts, according to the photo he sent us. He was in a upper suite at a hotel, maybe in Atlanta, and looking down on pickleball courts at a Hilton. So anyway, we'll be back in a second. And we're back, me, Jay, and the new audio board that does funky things. So, we had fun with that last week. I think I did the big robot thing with Art and whatnot. Okay. So he got the full run of it. But we wanted to talk family reunions since I just got back from one, and it seems like half my family listens to this podcast. Should I name my favorite cousin? Who's my favorite cousin? Probably Mervin would be my favorite cousin when it comes to this, because he listens to this podcast, habitually. He will text me things. He will have commentary. So Mervin, right now, you're my favorite cousin. We'll see what happens.
He's my favorite Robbie's cousin.
Yeah, there you go.
Only one I know, but also, he actually gives feedback.
Yeah. He interacts with us. Yeah. So there you go. But we were going to talk family reunions. So, which you said we've talked about this before.
We have. Yes.
But when did we talk about?
I'm the memory of the podcast.
Did you say something that got you in trouble?
No.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
Not that I'm aware.
Not that you're aware of. So, one of the things I want to talk about, family reunions, we've talked about this before. My dad is one of 13 kids. I've got 60-ish first cousins. Then once you add in their spouses and their kids, a family reunion for Coblentz runs over 100 people. And sometimes I get a little overwhelmed with names and I almost need name tags. But it's so much fun. We've got our typicals. The remaining uncles get together for breakfast at a cousin of mine's house Friday morning, which is fun. And then, we have our Saturday activities. There's used to be water fights, but that doesn't happen nearly as much anymore as we've all gotten older. We do a church service at a cousin's house on Sunday morning. So those are fun things. But there's a lot of food involved, as you can imagine. And I guess the question I had for you, because, you do family reunions, but your family reunions aren't nearly the production that ours are, just because of the amount of people, correct?
That's pretty accurate, yeah.
Of course, you don't have to travel to the northern part of the country to participate in a reunion. Either, no. You just go to Belmont, and
that's right.
There we go. But how big of a role does food play in your family reunions, Jay?
All right, so let me just give you a little background on what kind of reunions are going on, because it's kind of reunion season right now for our family. We few weeks ago, there was actually 2 on the same weekend. So we started something last year where a bunch of us first cousins on my mom's side all get together. And so last year there was 4 out of 5 of us couples got together. This year was only 3, but that's, all the same generation, pretty much, same age range. And so when we did it last year, and pretty much the same this year, we bring snacks. We had like a big charcuterie board when we got there, that kind of thing. Excuse me. And then we just kind of go out to eat, and, we might eat in for some stuff, but we'll go grab stuff. And it's kind of a individual meal. This is what we're going to do, kind of play, by the seat of our pants kind of a thing. There's another one. It's the Cane Man reunion, and that's my...
Okay, so give me... I got a text that first reunion is on your dad's side?
No. All these are on my mom's side.
All these are... Do you not have... You don't have
we don't have any... We haven't had... Oh, no, I've got cousins. We just have... As far as I know, we haven't had any active family reunions on that side.
Gotcha. Because everything on your mom's side revolves around Mrs. Reed, and she
is the catalyst for a lot of it.
She's the nebula that draws everybody in.
Yeah, she likes to see people. She's very much a people person and wants to see everybody, and so she's definitely the sort of the center. She's got another cousin, Linda, that is really active in planning as well.
Yeah.
And from one of the great aunt's side. But so there's that's the one I'm going to next weekend. So there's the first cousin reunion. We call it Cousin Palooza. That happened a few weeks ago. And on that same weekend, just by chance, we had already made our plans. And we'll just go. Last year we went to North Georgia. This year we went to Highlands, North Carolina. We just kind of try to find a place that's semi in between us.
Yeah.
Because we got North Carolina people, my brother, and me in Mississippi, and then the other cousins are all in Georgia. So we kind of meet in the middle, sort of, kind of. But the Cane Man reunion, that's my grandfather. I think his father and his brother married Cane. I can't keep it all straight, but the Mans and the Canes are connected, and so there's a reunion there, and so there's a lot of folks there that I don't know. I've been a few times. I don't know all the Canes, all the Mans I know, but I don't know all the Canes. But that happened actually the same weekend, and that's more my parents' generation. A little bit. There's a few of us that come every now and that are younger, and then this coming weekend is going to be. We call it the cousin reunion. It's all the first cousins of Mama's generation.
Gotcha.
So, and then, all the kids that go with that. So I think there's maybe one, I'm going to get this wrong probably, but maybe one person left from the older generation that still comes. But that's more, all right. So like I said, the Cousin Palooza is eat out and charcuterie and whatever. The Cane Man is strictly potluck. Yeah. Everybody brings stuff, and there's just tons of. It's just like a church potluck. This one will cater. There's a barbecue place in town, and so
that's going to take place in Belmont.
It'll be in Belmont too. Yeah, at my grandmother's house. So it'll be barbecue pretty much, and then everybody brings desserts. So, and usually I do a few other things, but this year I've got to work, and I'm going to get there late, so I'm going to get leftovers this time. But it's all different. Every time, there's always something homemade, always something that somebody going to bring, but the bulk of it is different in every different reunion.
Yeah. That Friday morning uncle's breakfast is a traditional working man's breakfast where
Uncle Herschel.
Like Uncle Herschel, but eggs and bacon and biscuits and coffee and the whole kit and caboodle. It's more volume than
it's everybody at that, or just the brothers? Just
the brothers, and then some of the sons have ended up. It's been Bonnie goes up. We go up and take my dad. We go up a day earlier than what we used to get my dad to it, and Bonnie will go over and help my cousin Janie put it together. She'll do biscuits and whatnot, and so she enjoys that. She gets to hang out with Janie, and so that's a lot of fun. Then Saturday we do the protein's brought in. Usually we're buying fried chicken from a local place. It's really, really good. And then everybody's bringing sides and desserts. And the dessert that my dad always goes for, and he eats his weight in this, is rhubarb pie.
Oh, yeah.
My dad, you like rhubarb pie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, describe the rhubarb pie that you like, because there's a variety of them. So let's see if we're...
Well, there's a lady in town here that makes it once or twice a year, and she found out when I was writing the food column that I liked it. And so every time she makes a batch of pies, I get a text and says, "Are you going to be at church? I've got pie." And so hers is... it's a double crust, and it is, rhubarb itself is a bit tart.
Yes.
But she's got kind of a sweet, sauce is not the right word, but there's, a liquid involved, but I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's just rhubarb that's been cooked down and sweetened and chopped up, as far as I can tell.
So what happens with my rhubarb pie from up in Indiana? It's a typical pie crust. It's going to be a egg custard base that's cooked, that's got cooked rhubarb on top of.
Huh. Okay.
So
that is different.
That is the rhubarb pie that my dad likes so much. And I'm sure there's pieces of rhubarb inside the pie that's been cooked, but it's sprinkled with a cooked rhubarb, which is greenish and purplish on top. And so that my dad loves rhubarb pie.
That sounds good.
And he will eat his weight in it, even though he's not supposed to. And we brought him back a piece. one of my aunts, we put him a piece in a pie container, and we're halfway between between Indiana and Mississippi. He had it for lunch.
Yeah.
So, he loves his rhubarb pie. So, but there's also a peanut butter pie, which is kind of more of a Mennonite staple. We would get peanut butter pie at church potlucks growing up at Jubilee Mennonite. And it's, usually it's just a typical pie crust with a peanut butter sweetened, almost like a Jell-O pudding base with like a cream meringue on top. And it's usually, you're going to have, it's almost like a Reese's peanut butter cup interior sprinkled on top. You could probably do the same thing with like a PB2 powdered peanut butter on top as a garnish would be nice. So that's always one thing I look forward to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's, I've had variations of that.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah.
To me, family reunion lunch on Saturday is like a Thanksgiving potluck gone mad. Because you got, some folks will bring chips and dip. There'll be a green bean casserole. Oh, yeah. There's any number of things. There's so much food that's brought.
Do you have certain people that are only allowed to make certain things, like Aunt Susie has to make the mac and cheese?
No,
and you can't have anybody else make it.
No, we don't have not quite that hardcore. Mark will oftentimes bring a smoked meat, and so that's been a nice addition. My Aunt Guiney with the rhubarb pie is kind of a particular one. My cousin Verena, or Reenie as we call her, she makes these potatoes that it's like a scallop potato that's quite good. But yeah, there's no,
people bring their favorites, the things that they're known for.
Yeah, and that folks like, and you're feeding 100 people, so you got to bring a lot. So, and it was so funny this year the way they set up the line. They start it with desserts, and then they go to mains and sides, and it's like not the smartest way to do things, but it is what it is. So, but yeah.
So you're definitely not going to go hungry at anybody's.
Yeah. So
any of these.
So food seems to be a common theme for our family reunions, and there's some other things that go on. Is that kind of common for yours? Is food kind of the binder that pulls everybody together, like in your Cousin Palooza?
Well, Cousin Palooza is a little bit different because we actually go for an entire weekend.
Okay, no, cousin. I'm thinking you've got the Man Cane Cousin Palooza, then the third one, which is just
the cousin. We just call it the cousin reunion.
Good grief, the cousin reunion.
Yeah, they're all cousins, but I guess there's some brothers and sisters involved. But yeah, Cousin Palooza, Cousin Reunion, and Cane Man. So yeah.
Cane Man, that sounds like a superhero. So.
I'll say this: the food for the one that's coming up, the cousin reunion, does seem to be like the centerpiece. That was what everybody has to chime in on and decide.
Yeah,
are we going to do cater? If we're going to cater it, are we going to do it from where?
Sure.
Are we going to bring stuff? And and generally people just want to get it catered for this one.
Yeah, just to be kind of over with it and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, but like at Cousin Palooza, most of us are very interested in different food and drink, and so we're trying to find we're all of the same mindset of we enjoy being together. We're going to go out and do stuff, whatever touristy things are around, and at this time we were at a cabin, had a canoes and back porch, and it was really nice. In Highlands, North Carolina, it had shopping and all the kind of stuff. So we're not just sitting around. There's a good bit of sitting around, but we're also out and doing stuff and eating while we're out, mostly.
Almost like a family vacation.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Whereas the others are just like one day.
Yeah.
You go and you visit for a little while, and then you eat, and you visit for a little while and make pictures, and then go home.
Yeah.
It's just several hours.
Ours is like that, but it's stretched really over 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So, and we end up staying with a cousin, which is always a lot of fun. So folks are staying with different cousins, those who are not in the area, which is a fair amount. So that's always a lot of fun. And those are kind of the fun moments, where you get to hang out and get to know maybe even somebody you've known your entire life, but you get to know them a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
kind of at a different place in life
Yeah.
now than you were growing up. And
Well, always growing up, I mean, there was always a water fight that happened that Saturday afternoon that somehow my dad always started. So my dad being the prankster, and the legends are, getting my mom involved in the water fight, because my mom, being from the deep South, Aunt Barbie, as they called her, or Aunt Barb, it was fun to get riled up and to pick on. My dad's family didn't really know what to think of my mom when he brought her home, because he brought her home after they got married.
yeah, it was a done deal.
Yeah. So it was quite fun. So, but then you had the whole Amish aunt, uncle, cousin piece into it, and so you got Amish cousins who show up on horse and buggy, and then like last year, our Friday night get together was at an Amish cousin's house, and that was a lot of fun too.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a little bit of things that are not quite normal.
Yeah,
but
not your average family.
Yeah. Which has been a lot of fun. But
yeah. Now you asked about the other side. We've gotten together some. My uncle on my dad's side passed away a few months ago, and so I went to a little kind of a celebration and saw a lot of my cousins there. So, I mean, that was for a different reason.
Yeah.
And every now and then, a couple of them went to state, some went to Ole Miss. So we'll see them around here. But as far as a actual reunion, we've never pulled that together. What I really want to do is, because all this stuff that we've just been talking about, most of that is on my grandfather's side, on my mom's dad. But my grandmother, there's a whole family. For some reason, like we stay in touch with her sister's kids. I mean, we're in touch with them. But like her father was a doctor in Fulton, Mississippi, and last name was Nanny. And there's still a lot of nannies in Fulton, in that area, that I don't know. We're related somehow, but I haven't figured out. I've been to the graveyard and found all our mutual ancestors. Yeah, but we've just never. For some reason, she didn't stay in touch. With that side, and so I'm kind of interested in. So if you're a nanny and listening to this in Fulton, Mississippi area, please get in touch.
Please get in touch. That's funny. That's funny. So is this an annual thing for you guys every year? Or these three events happen every year for you?
Pretty much. They have been. Cousin Palooza is only on its second edition, but it's been fun enough. I'm sure we'll keep doing that.
Yeah. It's, family reunions, one of the things we look forward to. My boys enjoy it quite a bit, and David's girlfriend, Crystal, has really enjoyed it as well. So it's always.
I was wondering if she went.
Yeah, she didn't go this year because she was so tired. Well, she actually had a conference. I forgot where she was, North Carolina, maybe that week. She hated she couldn't go. So, but it's
fun to go to those kind of things sometimes and be on the outside.
Yeah,
in a way, because it's all completely new. You can just kind of enjoy it. That's when I go up with Melissa's family in New York.
Yeah,
I know some of them, but I see them every 10 years maybe. So it's kind of fun just to be the outsider and just chill and meet new people, but not be just sort of loosely connected. I guess. Does that make sense?
I don't know. Yeah, I think Bonnie was not expecting what she married into with this group, but she has really embraced it. And I've got some great cousins, with the exception of Jerry. So, that's Mervin's brother.
Okay.
Who picked on me when I was little. So,
okay.
Yeah. And I'm sure, that's right. I'm sure I'm going to get a text from him. So, all right. Well, that talks cousins for us. So anything else you want to talk about, reunions and things like that?
No, I'm good.
All right, we're going to go out of here. Jay hasn't heard how we're doing this now. Hey, we thank you guys for joining us. And, hey, hit us up with a 5-star review on the podcast aggregator of your choice. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time around.